Thank you, Jesse. We are very pleased today to have Joan Weill as our commencement speaker. Many of us know Joan personally from her long, dedicated, and transformational leadership of the Paul Smith College Board of Trustees. So to introduce her to most of you would be simple. I would not need to do any more. But some of you, especially those of you sitting here in the front rows, do not know her, except for the name that adorns the two buildings that frame our great lawn and serve as the heart and the soul of Paul Smith College campus. So I feel you need to know a little bit about her before she speaks. Like most of you, she came from a humble background, but took advantage of an educational opportunity and never forgot that it isn't just smarts, but dedication and drive that gets you ahead. With her husband, Sandy, they built a family and corporate life that is an icon of the American dream. Hard work, dedication, and a focus on values can lead to great achievement, but most importantly, to a meaningful life. And in reaching that pinnacle, they have not forgotten where they came from, and giving back so that others have opportunity has become their legacy. And so you all know, it's not just the physical structures that bear her name that have lifted us up and moved us forward. It is the unrelenting drive for excellence in everything she attaches herself to, while at the same time, a deep and sincere compassion for her fellow man that has stimulated this entire community to strive to make her proud to be part of our family. I am honored to introduce to you our commencement speaker, Trustee Emeritus Joan Weill.
Thank you so much, John. You made a lot for me to live up to here. I also wanted to comment on you, Jesse. You're the reason why we are all here working for the school. You epitomize the mission of this school and why we're so proud of everybody. So thank you. Thank you very much. You know, when President Mills asked me to be the commencement speaker, I had great trepidation because I am not going to guide you through the economy. I am not going to give you the latest discoveries of science, and I won't tell you who I want to be the next president, but we could talk about that later. But what I can do is tell you how very proud I am of all of you and everybody here in the audience, and my association, of course, with Paul Smith College, its faculty, its administrators, the Board of Trustees, led by my friend Phil Saunders, I just changed his name, and President Mills, and of course, the mission of the school. And that just as I was, some of you are the first in your family to graduate from college, and that is really wonderful. And I want to commend the parents, the partners, the relatives, and friends of all of you for their support and wisdom to encourage each of you to obtain an education and the degree which you are about to receive. So I think we should applaud all those people. And in fact, while we're showing appreciation, I would like to introduce you to my husband, Sandy Weill, because without him, I could not have done anything here. So, Sandy, stand up. You know, there are many examples of how the faculty and administration has helped a struggling student. And certainly, as you've all said, the experiential learning has made all the difference in your lives. And now is the time to reflect on the past years and to eagerly look forward to what is ahead. So what I'd like to do today is share some personal thoughts with you My mother was 100 when she very recently passed away. So I have been thinking about all the things that she taught me and the many life lessons. And some of them I learned the hard way, believe me, as you all will. How many have you had a grandparent, a parent, professor, coach, or friend who has mentored you? How many? That's terrific. That is really, you're lucky. Because it's really important to have a mentor. And someday you could be a mentor to somebody. Try to be decisive. You may not always be right, but people really appreciate a decision. Honesty and trust. So very important in every aspect of our lives, work, family, and friends. Change, as you are feeling now, can be very daunting, as you know that you are now facing one of the biggest changes in your life. But it's a great opportunity. Change is stimulating and exciting, and it's positive. Change is positive. And also, to me, face-to-face communication is so very important. I mean, if I were on a video up here now, it wouldn't mean the same thing as being here. But in this age of technology, it is tempting to have strictly electronic relationships. But to me, nothing replaces eye contact. I have been known even to write notes and send them by snail mail. And yes, I do on occasion have email. I feel, again, very lucky that I have had a partner in life for 57 years, actually in June. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, talking about my mother, he was not my mother's choice, but for once she was wrong. It's worked. And a relationship needs work, 100%, 100%. I worry that because we all have gotten used to fast answers and solutions, I kind of call it the instant coffee generation, that is not how a relationship works. Time, patience, and most important, an excellent sense of humor. It is especially hard these days with both partners working and raising children. However, as a very wise friend of mine once said, you can have it all, but not all at the same time. So think about that. Be passionate about your work. Every day won't be perfect, but your overall sense of succeeding is so important. Ever since we married, my husband Sandy has set goals for himself and for us together. And our very first goal, after moving out of my parents' house and Sandy finally getting a job as a runner on Wall Street at the very bottom, we decided that what we wanted as a goal was to buy a deep fryer. Do you all know what a deep fryer is? So we did. We saved up and we bought a deep fryer. And then you know what our second goal was? We had to be able to afford the oil that went into the deep fryer. So our goals have changed a little bit over the years, but they give us both something to work together for and inspire to achieve. Include your partner in your work, especially when you have a family or significant other. It needs to be both a friendship and a partnership. Get involved in your community. You have so much to gain for you from that. Have a passion that you can lend your intelligence and energy to. Even if you're not able to give financially, that's not as important. Don't be afraid to make meaningful commitments. Be involved and live in the moment, like right now. Everything does not have to be perfect. Just do the very best you can. You learn by making mistakes. Surface your mistakes and learn from them. Sandy and I have our chicken, quote-unquote, chicken dinners, which means we need to discuss something and make a decision together. Once again, it is the importance of communication in relationships. Don't be afraid to ask for advice, and that is why mentoring is so important. And talking about asking for advice, I will share a little personal story. Some years ago, Sandy and I were very fortunate, and we were invited to stay at President and Mrs. Ford's home in Vail, Colorado. So I immediately panicked. What do I do? I'm staying at a president's house. Blah, blah, blah. So what do? I call my mother. And my mother thought for a minute, and she said, make your bed. Okay, I could do that. But what she didn't advise me on was that my hairdryer was going to blow out all the circuits in the house, causing the Secret Service men to come running in a panic. But we did get invited back, so it wasn't so bad. But my point is, everyone makes a mistake. So to summarize some of the life lessons I have learned, and as I said, sometimes the hard way, there's honesty and trust. Change is a great opportunity. Patience and commitment. Passion for life and living in the moment. Decision making. Asking for advice. Communication. Sense of humor and balance. And never forget your roots and the importance of your family and relationships. Learn from mistakes. Don't let them stop you. Set realistic goals. Give back to your community with passion. And one more piece of advice, if I may. Learn to love yourself and have self-respect and dignity. Each one of you is very special. Look what you've already accomplished. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. So I thank you so much for giving me the privilege of talking with you on this very special day for you. I wish you all the best. Be proud of yourselves and have a wonderful life. Thank you.